The thing I remember about you the most, man, is I played against some pretty intimidating players, and Ray Lewis would be up there once I got to the
sure.
NFL. There, you and Ray Lewis were the two most intimidating
Wow.
guys that I've ever played against.
Wow.
There's something about LaVar, man, when he was out there, that number 11 and those eyes and that intensity, the speed and the power and the athleticism this guy played with was just unbelievable, man. And you were
I'm humbled.
well, I mean,
Thank
you
you.
were, you're number 2 pick in the draft for a
I
reason.
was.
You were a phenomenal football player and certainly one of the best defenders I've ever played.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. What's up, everybody? LaVar Arrington here. That's right. It's Conversations with a Legend. Up on Game presents, and I'll tell you what, I have a legend with me indeed today from Hayden, Kentucky. Played a little bit of football. I think he was all right. I think he did all right when he played. I got my man Tim Couch with me, bro.
What's up, LaVar? Good to be with you, man.
I'm excited to do this one, all right? Now, before I get to all of the excitement of why this is going to be a super cool interview for me, first off, I'm happy to be here, to be in Kentucky, in your space. This is your place, and just know the history of who you are and what you represent. What is Tim Couch up to these days?
Mainly being dad, really. I've got
Okay.
I've got 2 boys. I've got a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old, so they keep me really busy. They're into sports, so I'm doing all that with them, and then some business ventures as well. My brother and I are in a wealth management company. We have a wealth management management company called Meridian Wealth Management, and so we started here in Lexington about 10 years ago, and we've spread
Who
kinda
do
all over the
you
country.
who do you service with Meridian?
Just really a lot of high net worth individuals,
Okay.
businesses.
Okay.
We just whoever really, from
right.
the smallest amount to the biggest amount you can imagine. So we represent kind of everyone.
Is there a web address? Is there a Twitter, social media? How do you communicate with people?
Yeah, just Meridian Wealth Management. .com. You can get on there on the website and kind of see what we do and take a look at everything. But it's been a great business for us. It's really growing and expanding, and it's been a lot of fun to kind of get that thing up and going.
That's awesome, man. And I love to hear when guys are doing well. And I mean, wealth management, that is something that is sorely needed in our profession,
Absolutely.
of course. So a lot of guys can use that. So make sure you look up, all right, Meridian
Wealth Management.
wealthmanagement.com.
Yeah.
Bam, we're going to put it up there. We're going to put the link right there. It's like, don't worry about it. But make sure you click on the link, all right? Make sure you dial it up and go in there. Wealth management. You were number 1 overall draft pick when they weren't doing slotted contracts.
Right.
You got paid.
I did all right. Yeah.
And you know what? You were deserving of getting paid. I played against a few guys during my college time. One by the name of Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. Another one by the name of Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. And then there was this guy I played against in the Outback Bowl my sophomore year, my first year starting, and it was Tim Couch. Let's revisit this. Let's revisit this game, all right? This one. There's a whole lot of things I've talked to legends about in the past. I don't think I've ever had a story connected to me as unique as this.
Right.
I have a number 1 draft pick steering across the line at our defense. I'm going to take you through our week of preparation.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it from your side for sure.
All right, here's our week of preparation. So we're being told this is a SEC team. They're going to throw the ball, and this guy is as good as advertised. He's tall. He's a competitor. He's smart. He sees the field. We're not going to have a lot of time. I said to the coaching staff, I said, well, why are we playing the game? I mean, I don't know how we're going to win. So we could not simulate the speed of a Craig Yeast.
Right.
we were all right with the backfield. So, you know, you got, what was it, Hurst in the backfield?
We had Anthony White.
White
Yeah.
was in the backfield.
And
Homer.
Yeah.
Homer. It was
Yeah.
Homer.
White and Homer.
Right. White and Homer.
Yeah.
Right. Homer, not Hurst. We did all right with preparing for the run.
Yeah.
But we were going to have a problem with the receiving core, and we knew we were going to have a problem with you guys. So we ran a lot. We worked on our defenses, but our most important piece of preparation was conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically said, if y'all don't get to him, it's going to be bad.
Right.
It's going to be bad.
Well, it started out, you know, it was bad for you guys. You know,
Yeah.
we got up 14-0 because you guys weren't getting to me immediately, and we scored 2 quick touchdowns.
That's right.
You know, we thought we were just going to run away with the game at that point because we scored so quickly.
Yeah.
And then you guys started saying, okay, we're going to
We
start
dialed
coming
in.
And then you and Courtney started getting to me in the second
We-
half. And,
yeah.
Man, it seemed like every time I dropped back to pass, you guys were hitting me as I was throwing it or sacking me, and you know, and it just got tough for us in the second half. You guys were able to come back and beat us.
How Mummy had a great game plan. You guys did jump out on us quick. I had to get a field goal on you guys. I blocked a field goal
that's
on
right.
you guys in
Yep.
the game. It was one of those games. I mean, it provided the opportunity for me to solidify like a coming out party of sorts because that was my first year starting.
Right.
There was one thing I remembered most about you during that game. It wasn't a throw, it was a run.
Mm-hmm.
And you ran the ball, and I wanted to kill you. Like I was trying, and I guess that isn't even politically correct to say anymore. It's like,
No, I
you
can see
know,
in your eye,
but
yeah.
I was trying to
Yeah,
get you,
yeah.
and you got down, or somebody took you down, and I went over top of you. I was trying to hit you, and you jumped up, and I was like, wait, hold on, man, like, hold on, like you can't, like, not when I come to hit you, like you can't be jumping up, and it stood out to me, like. You're a competitor. Mm-hmm. And that at that moment, my respect level was like, okay, like we live in an age now where if a guy is in your position, they're opting out of that game.
Right. For sure.
They won't even play in that game.
Yeah. And, you know, I knew it was my last game, and but, you know, I wanted to go out with my teammates. You know, I'd been through the process with them, you know, Coach Mummy getting there my sophomore year, and so that was my junior year, and I knew kind of like, you know, we had built this thing, we'd kind of created this air raid offense that everybody was talking about, and I wanted to go out, you know, my last game, and I wanted to win a bowl game and beat, you know, Penn State and the legendary Joe Paterno, and, you know, win a game like that. So there was no thought of not playing, even though I knew it was going to be a physical game against you guys. I was out there trying to play and compete like it was, you know, like it was going to be my last game. So
You competed.
the thing I remember about you the most, man, is you know, I played against some pretty intimidating players, and you know, Ray Lewis would be up there once I got to the NFL. You and Ray Lewis were the two most intimidating guys that I've ever played against.
Wow.
And something about LaVar, man, when he was out there, that number 11 and those eyes and that intensity, the speed and the power and the athleticism this guy played with was just unbelievable, man. And you were
I'm humbled.
Well, I mean,
Thank
you know, you're number 2 pick in the draft for a
I
reason.
was.
You were a phenomenal football player and certainly one of the best defenders I've ever played.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. All right, well, you mentioned Ray Lewis. You go number 1 into the AFC North.
Yeah.
I can relate to what you went through. A lot of people can't relate to going into a scenario which Cleveland continues
Right.
to be that, and Washington continues to be that type of dysfunctional organization. Coming out, it's exciting to want to be a top draft pick, to be the number 1 draft pick, but with that blessing, there comes a curse.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about, because it's almost disheartening to think about when guys that are as talented as you were and had so much potential to be a Hall of Famer at that level end up at a dysfunctional organization.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like you said, you know, you're a top pick, but that means you're going to the worst team. And for me, it was even harder that year because the Browns were an expansion team.
Right.
You know, they just came back in the league. They left in '96, became the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
And then in 1999, they come back. So I was the first player ever drafted in the new Browns franchise. So literally starting from the ground up with this organization. You know, and like you said, LaVar, man, when you go in, all you can hear is number one pick. And of course, I want to be the number one pick in the draft. You're not thinking about how tough the road's going to be, of being a quarterback on an expansion team and that kind of thing. But it hit me pretty quickly, the reality of how tough that was going to be. You know, my rookie year, I got sacked 56 times in 15 starts, you know, which was an NFL record at the time.
Wow.
And it was just, so it was a beating physically, but it also takes a toll on you mentally, you know, because at that point I had never dealt with failure.
Right.
You know, coming out of high school, I was the #1 recruit in the country.
Sure.
You know, National Player of the Year, and I get to college, and I'm a first-team All-American and a Heisman Trophy finalist and the #1 pick in the draft. So I'd never faced adversity necessarily on the field.
Right.
And now all of a sudden I'm getting, you know, beat to death. I'm not winning games. I'm not putting up the numbers that I'm used to putting up. And then you start questioning yourself. You know, hey, is it me? Can I not play at this level?
Right.
But you know, at that level, for a quarterback especially, it's all about the talent around you, how successful you can be, because you know, everyone in the NFL is a really good football player, and if you put the right pieces around them with the right system, the right staff, you know, the running game, the wide receivers, obviously the offensive line, the guy can be pretty successful. But you know, if you don't, you can ruin a really good player's career. And you know, we've seen it. You know, David Carr went through the same situation as I did, an expansion team in Houston, #1 pick in the draft. He was a great player, but he never lived up to his potential because of, you know, his surroundings. And you know, we've seen it many other times with many other players. But you know, it's just unfortunate. But you know, I don't think I would trade that experience just because, you know, it's such an honor to be a #1 pick in the draft.
Absolutely.
And you know, something I can be proud of. But it was a rough road. But you know, we did make the playoffs my 4th year there.
That's right.
And it was the only time the Browns had been to the playoffs until a couple years ago. So it was about a 20-year gap in there. So I was kind of, you know, really proud of where we were able to kind of build that thing up to in a short period of time. But it was a rough road, man.
When you're as fierce a competitor as you were, and you had so much success, what were some of your biggest challenges? You talk about getting through it as an expansion team and different things like that. And you said the emotional part. I know for me, the biggest challenge was to still believe that you could win.
Yeah.
That was like my biggest challenge, like emotionally and mentally, even preparing physically. It's like, this is the game, or this is the week, this is the year. And by the time you get to year 3 and you're a vet,
Right.
it's like you're sitting in the locker room and it's like, this shit ain't gonna get any better.
Right. Yeah.
It's not, how is it going to get better? What was, like, how was it for you? Because for a linebacker, it's like, I'm a linebacker, like, we might lose, but I know this, I'm knocking somebody the hell out tonight, right? Like, I come out this game, somebody's going to sleep because of me, and win, lose, or draw, I know I gave it this, and you saw it, and he experienced it, and I touched his life too. I hate we lost, but all I can do is what I can do.
Right.
How does a quarterback at the most important position, the #1 guy, because if it's not Super Bowl, if it's not playoffs, it's automatically you're a bust. Automatically. They're already, like, I was called a bust. I made 3 Pro Bowls. I'm still called a bust.
Right.
We're being called bust, but you're a quarterback. That pressure level is different. How, like, what were some of the things you had to deal with in order to be able to try to still thrive in that type of environment?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I think, you know, when you come in as the #1 pick, there's so many expectations on you immediately, you know, from your fans, from the media, even your own teammates. You know, your teammates are sitting in the locker room like, hey, man, you're the #1 pick. We're counting on you. You got to go win these games for us. And, you know, get us over the hump, you know, kind of get us going. So that's a lot of pressure. I mean, I was only 20 years old when I went to the NFL. You know, I turned 21 in training camp that year. So I was a young kid out there, man, and you're in the huddle with guys that are, you know, 30 years old, been in the league for 10 years, and got families and stuff. I mean, it's a big difference in being in a college huddle. So you feel a lot of responsibility, a lot of expectations, and you know, like I said, the mental part was tougher on me than the physical part. You know, I was always a big guy, physical guy, I could take the hits. But you know, the mental part where you're just losing games week after week after week, and you know, you're just like, damn, what do I got to do to win a game? Because I feel like, you know, I'm playing well, but you know, we're still not winning. It's always a player or two here or there. we just can't find a way to win games. And you know how tough it is to win a game in the NFL.
It's tough.
I mean, the difference in winning and losing is like that.
Yeah.
So, you start questioning yourself. You start questioning, golly, can I even make it here? Do I want to even be here? All those thoughts come in your mind. But at the end of the day, I think as a quarterback, you just put your head down and say, I just got to keep working. I got to keep working harder, man. I got to keep believing in myself because, you have to have the ultimate confidence at that position because, the media is going to be crushing you.
Yeah.
They're going to be writing stories about you each and every week, good or bad. So you have to have that belief in yourself that you can play at that level and then you can get it done. And that was probably the toughest part.
You're a good-looking dude, There are the positives and the bonuses of being a number 1 draft pick, a quarterback, a good-looking quarterback from the bluegrass state. Give me a bonus story, man. Give me a bonus story, because it wasn't all bad.
No, it wasn't all bad.
It was not all bad.
No,
it doesn't even have to be on the field. It doesn't have to be a pass that you completed on the field. What was it like being Tim Couch? What was it like being Tim Couch? I don't even care if it's the pros. What was it like being Tim Couch here in Kentucky? Like, I tell people I float in state college. I don't touch the ground. The plane lands, I get off of the plane, and I'm just levitated the entire time, and I just float in State College, Pennsylvania. I never touch the ground, other than to kiss the ground. I kiss the ground every single time I land in State College, but I don't touch the ground the rest of the time there.
Right.
What's it like being Tim Couch?
It's not a bad thing.
Give me a bonus story. I need details.
Oh man.
I need a memorable, legendary moment right here.
Like
Tim Couch.
an off the field story?
I mean, why not?
I feel like that'd be a better conversation for you and I just at the bar.
That's why we're at a bar, Tim Couch. Just keep it let's keep it G-rated.
I think the biggest thing is just when I was in Cleveland, kind of being the face of that franchise, a new franchise. It was like, billboards downtown everywhere. Like everywhere I looked, I saw my own face.
Right.
And that kind of gets weird. And everywhere you go, people are looking at you, want to talk to you, want to take pictures. So it was like living in a fishbowl, honestly, because the Browns are, they don't have a great team, but they got some unbelievable
great fans,
man.
right?
And Cleveland is a football town. So to be, kind of the face of that franchise was it was a pretty cool experience. Going out with teammates and friends and stuff, man. And
was Willie McGinnis there? He was a little older than you, was he?
No,
was he?
Yeah, he wasn't there.
I know Kennard Lang was there,
Kennard was
and
there.
Wally was there.
Rayner,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, who was the people that you ran with though? Who did you run with?
It was Aaron Shea. Remember the tight
Shea,
end
the
from
tight end
Michigan?
from Michigan. Yeah, absolutely.
And Mark Campbell as well.
Campbell, yep.
He was a Michigan tight end.
Yep.
We were all good buddies. Kevin Johnson was my wide
Receiver.
from Syracuse,
Yeah.
played with McNabb.
Yep.
A bunch of guys. Remember Corey Fuller?
Yeah.
Fuller, defensive back.
he's in love with Jesus now. He's
I saw that.
Yeah, he's like really.
Is he at Florida State now?
Florida State coaching.
Yeah, I saw his coaching, so.
Shouts out to Corey.
Yeah, we had some good guys on that team. Man.
But y'all, I mean, you mentioned some partiers there though. You guys were partying.
We had some.
Had a good time.
Yeah, we definitely had a good time. Cleveland's a fun town, especially in the summer. We got all the bars and stuff down on the
flats
lake there in the flats. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had some good times for sure.
That was the G-rated version, y'all. Listen, if you want to have an amazing life, be Tim Couch. Make sure you can throw the ball. Speak really well. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know why he looks like this. I love the fit I got. Shouts out to Blancs and eat. I'm not taking my coat off. Why does Tim Couch look like this today? And we're the same age. I need details. I need to understand, why do you look like this? Because right now I'm body shaming myself on the inside. I'm like, LaVar, can you please do something with your life? I'm going to start tomorrow. That's what I told myself. I'm not. The truth is I'm not, but right. I'm telling myself on the inside, Tim's doing it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it. What got you going? Like, you didn't look like this when you played.
Well, I think, First of all, you look great. I don't
Well,
think you
thank
look,
you,
yeah,
thank you. I'm
but-
kind of puny though.
No, you definitely
I'll
not.
thumb wrestle you. I won't arm wrestle you. All right.
You know, I was always really big into health and fitness, even when I was playing, but I train differently now just because I didn't want to be this big when I was playing because I
Sure.
had to throw and have flexibility in
Yeah,
my
sure,
shoulders and
sure.
stuff. So when I was done playing, I was just like, screw it, I'm just going to just
Do you
lift up.
CrossFit? Are you you got
No.
like that CrossFit body?
No, I don't CrossFit, but
No.
I just do a lot of high intensity stuff. I
Okay.
still, you know, sprints and just lifting without, you know, a whole lot of rest periods in between sets. And, you
Okay,
know, things
you're a
like that.
super setter.
Yeah, supersets
All
a
right.
lot, man. Just get a lot of volume, a lot of work done, and probably weights about 5 days a week, and then cardio a couple days a week, and then I'm really active as.
So you feel good physically then, obviously.
I feel good. I don't know how, man. My body's pieced together. I've had 2 major shoulder surgeries. I've got 4 screws in my thumb. My back is fused together. The L3, L4, 5 discs are fused together. I've had a broken leg, broken ankle, multiple concussions. I don't know how I feel good, but
Yeah,
so
but you
far,
feel good.
so far I feel fine. Yeah.
That's awesome. Before we wrap this up, I always ask, because this is something that I'll probably do a montage of at some point. I ask everybody that I interview, what does Tim Couch want his lasting legacy to be? When it's all said and done, and somebody is delivering those last words, those final speeches of, this was Tim Couch, what would you want people to remember Tim Couch by?
You know, I think it's always been for me the type of person I am. You know, I think at the end of the day, your football career is going to end at some point for you. And people are going to forget. They're going to remember, oh, yeah, I was a good player, but they're not going to remember the plays and the games necessarily. They're going to remember when they met you, how'd you make them feel? Did you inspire them? Did you remember their name? Did you shake their hand? Did you look them in the eye? Just the impact that I would have on people in, you know, just being an overall good person and being a good father is the main thing. So those would be the important things. And obviously, you know, I'd love to be remembered for being a great football player, but more importantly, being a great person, I think would be, you know, how I would want to be remembered.
I think you've accomplished that.
I appreciate
You got
it.
more
Thanks.
time to do more accomplishing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm humbled. I'm honored. It's the great Tim Couch, everyone. This is Up On Game Presents Conversations with a Legend. Make sure you tap in, subscribe, you tell a friend, you know, check us out. This is dope content, if you hadn't noticed. And make sure you check out his website. He's doing some great stuff in the wealth management division. We'll make sure we put that website, you know, up for it, for what's going on, man. I tell you, I generally don't get like this where I mess up words and have moments, but you know, when you're around greatness, every once in a while, I find myself, you know, being a fan versus, you know, just doing my job. So it's Tim Couch, man. Appreciate you
LaVar.
coming
Thanks
on,
so
man.
much, man.
Appreciate
Great
you,
to see
all right? It's been another exciting edition. Make sure you stay tuned in, man. We'll check you out. Till next time.